One of the most exciting features that we have added to Blubrry's PowerPress podcasting plugin is now located in settings underneath the experimental tag. This is called Value4Value, or V4V. And we have great write-ups on this on the website that we definitely want you to review. But let me try to explain this in a way that you understand in the shortest amount of time. The Value4Value tag or features part of the Podcasting 2.0 initiative geared at helping podcasters receive contributions from their listeners. Now, Blubrry is partnered with a company called Alby to participate in the Value4Value podcast model. This part of the Value4Value model does use crypto. It uses a derivative of Bitcoin called a Satoshi. A Satoshi is the smallest, it's like a penny in a dollar is the best way to describe it. But a Satoshi is essentially 1/10,000,000th of a Bitcoin. So what happens is once you implement this, there are new apps, new podcasting apps at newpodcastingapps.com, Podverse, Fountain, Castopod. These are apps now that are supporting the ability of your listeners to be able to contribute Satoshis to your podcast. This is becoming highly successful, and there's nearly 12,000 shows that have already implemented this. This is a model in which you will have to educate your listeners on how to participate in the Value4Value model. The Value4Value model is based upon you give value in content and information. They give you value back in donations. Sure, they can still donate via PayPal, Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon. But what this does is allows podcasters to be able to receive listener donations in very small denominations, $1, 50 cents, $2, with very low processing fees. If someone was to send 1,000 Satoshis, that's about a quarter. They would get about 1 penny for the processing fee to have sent that. You can't do that with PayPal. So the Value4Value model is really fantastic in that it also helps the app developers, those that have enabled Value4Value via the apps at newpodcastapps.com. They will take a percentage as a fee, maybe 1%, 2%, 3%, and that will allow them, your 1,000 Satoshi donation, they will get 30 Satoshis in order to continue to support and build their app. It's a and it also helps what we call now the podcast index. It's part of the podcasting 2.0 ecosphere to really make this all work in a really granular way. It's obviously kind of complicated, but the setup that we've done for you here within PowerPress makes it very, very simple. Now, I'm showing you a very complicated setup so that you'll understand the power of this. I have the Value4Value set up for 4 different destinations. One is my own, and I have my Get Alby address in there, geeknews@getalby.com. All this other information was auto-populated once I set up my Alby account. I have another address in here that's actually donating to the podcast index. I'm giving them a 1% split. I also have a 1% split going back to the team that has the Fountain app. And I also have my own node address. So you're thinking, oh my God, Todd, this is really, really complicated. Well, let me go to the bottom here and just add a person. Let me show you what happens here. If I go Blubrry at getalby.com, I may have to put the @ in there. No, it filled it. It will auto-populate this information. And once you get your account set up at getalby.com, they will assign you a an address, and you'll enter that address for your show, and you'll enter that split as 100. If you get advanced to a later point where you want to be able to give a split to someone else, maybe a co-host. So if you have a co-host, they can set up their own Get Albie account, and you can set this to 50-50. I have mine set to 97% going to my main account, and then 1% to each of these. These splits have to add up to 100. And once you save that, we're going to put this data inside your podcast RSS feed so that the apps that are at newpodcastapps.com, Podverse, Fountain, are the two primary ones, can do contributions to your show. And I will show you from my circumstance. Right now, my balance is at 975,733 sats. I think that's about $100 at this time. But there's also some very, very cool dashboards that will actually allow you to see what has been contributed to your show. So far, since I introduced this to my show, I've had 1.826 million Satoshis, 3,000 payments with 38 contributors. Now, what's fun is those folks can actually donate to your show by the minute. And you see here that Satoshis that have come in by the minute. You can actually see engagement by the minute. There's also the ability for them to send you messages through those systems. And I got one here, 33,000 sats, or 3,333 sats from Chad, say, listening live in the Podverse. I got the bat signal, so I decided to tune in. And then I've got one here from Bob. He said, hey, Todd, I've been using the Fountain app for a while now. Have you had any problems playing episodes at times? I don't make any change. So basically, people send you messages sending Satoshis. And in the end, I can take that wallet of money that I've gotten from GetAlby, and I can cash that out. I can turn that into real dollars. Some of you may have crypto stigmatism. I don't want anything to do with Bitcoin, and that's okay. We understand that. This is not an investment model. This is a token donation model. Yes, the token value will change day to day. But the best example I gave to someone recently was I needed to add some tokens, some Satoshis to my wallet on Fountain. I took my debit card and I added $20 worth of Satoshis to my wallet. And then I was able to donate to 5 of my shows, sending them like 4,000 to 5,000 Satoshis each, having plenty of Satoshis left over because, again, you're making micro payments like $1.25, 5,000 Satoshis like $1.25, sending them a donation on a weekly basis, or being able to comment live, not necessarily live, but while I'm listening to the show, sending a comment at the 8 minutes and 32 second mark about something was said. So the value for value model is very unique, and it's absolutely a new way to add a new model to your show. And again, you'll have to take time to educate your audience about this. I'm recommending that you listen to the Podcasting 2.0 show. It's about all these new features that are going on in the podcasting space. Again, we want to make sure that you understand this is a feature. You can use it or not. You don't have to participate in the value for value model. I found great success with this so far, and I'm having the most fun I've had in 18 years of podcasting. So all you got to do to get started, again, is go to the experimental tab for your podcast in PowerPress, and you'll see the link to get a Albie account. Add your Albie address, set the split at 100, and you're done. You are set. You're ready to go, and then you can kind of figure out over time what this total new process of being able to earn money for your shows. This is a great way for small and large shows to earn significant amount of revenue from your podcast. All told, since I've started doing this about 4 months, it's been about $600 for my personal show. Now, your everything will vary. Not saying that's a guarantee, but that's my success because I've been taking time to educate my audience to start using new podcasting apps at newpodcastapps.com. Now, one of the things that you can actually see on the dashboard, Podverse, Fountain, Cast-O-Matic, CurioCaster, Podfriend, all support this new form of being able to have your listeners donate to you while they listen to your show in these podcast apps at newpodcastapps.com. We hope that you'll take advantage of this new value for value and enable this in PowerPress on your shows. You have nothing to lose by enabling it and setting up a GetAlby account. The balance can stay at zero, and as this moves forward and you start to earn donations, you'll be able to see the value in this. It's nothing more fantastic than doing your show and then coming in and seeing comments that come in like this for you to be able to read on your podcast. I don't get this many emails from my show ever, but this is a small percentage of my audience, very small percentage, that are highly engaged and being very active in utilizing this new value for value system. Good luck. Let us know what you think. I'm Todd at Blubrry.com, and follow on information about where to learn about Podcasting 2.0. If you like this feature and would like to learn more, go over to Blubrry.com and search for Podcasting 2.0 and review the full list of features that we've made available to the podcasters that host their podcast at Blubrry.com.